We have 4 viewers.
Yay!
Okay, we should start. You ready?
It's not showing.
Okay, well, it's 4 viewers. So it's
Okay.
good. All right, so let's just start.
Okay.
Okay,
Start.
I'm Sonia Costa.
I'm Karen Wasslinger, and this is my husband Chip Knight, and today we're going to be introducing you to all our critters.
Okay, so just so you know, if you have any questions throughout the webcast, please ask a question through the social stream, and we'll answer those.
Yeah, and just note that as we watch webcasts throughout the week, we notice that the chat is a little bit delayed, so if we don't answer you right away, it's because sometimes it takes up to even 30 seconds for the questions to post. So, all right, well.
And just a minor, this is going to be part interview, part education.
Yeah, and lots of fun. So, when I first met Chip in high school, he had a snake already for about 4 years, and throughout the years we've had many snakes, and they were there before I was, so they're there to stay. I had no choice in the matter. But what we started with a python bonsai, and he died a few years ago, and after that, then we acquired these new indigos, and we'll share about them. Yeah, want to take them out?
So what do you want to see first?
Let's see the mama.
You want to see the mama?
I want to see the mama.
All right. Well,
Which one's the mama?
I've got 2 boys and 2 girls, and so that way I can make sure to continue mixing it up and not having to inbreed the snakes. These are Eastern Indigos, and they're from Florida. It's my favorite snake. I had the python, like Karen said, for 27 years, and when he died, I made room for the other guys. And because they're endangered, there are a lot of people that really encourage captive breeding. These are all captive bred animals. None of them came from the wild. And in order to transfer them, you even need interstate permits in order to transfer them from place to place. So I do have some food. None of the food items will be alive. They're frozen, and then I thaw them out so that they can eat food without having to get bit or anything like that. So this male was bred to this female, and I put them in a little box at night, so overnight they can have their privacy. And then 2 months later, eggs were laid. So the first thing I'll do is I'll take out mama, and I use a snake's handling stick, and that way I don't surprise the snakes and let her know that I'm coming, so that she doesn't accidentally bite me, thinking that it's time for dinner.
No, questions. I don't want to be near.
It won't come near me, Sonia, I promise.
So
She's friendly.
She was born in 2010. This again, she's an Eastern Indigo. I want to try to get her close to the camera for you guys to see just what she looks like. She's pure black, and there's just barely a little bit of white underneath that you can see.
Last question. So I didn't know this earlier, but I thought that the snakes all kill their prey by squeezing them to death and then eating them. But I was reading that the indigo throws their prey, crushing them or something. Throws them against.
Slams them against something to knock them out and then be able to eat them.
Right. So there are poisonous snakes, rattlesnakes, and this kind of thing. There are constrictors like the python I had that will squeeze them.
Mm-hmm.
And these snakes don't do that. They'll eat anything at all. They'll eat rats, mice, and frogs. They'll even eat other snakes. And the way they kill their prey is just by simply overpowering them. So they're very intelligent snakes. They're fearless, and like I said, they'll eat anything that's smaller than them.
And they're beautiful.
She just laid eggs, so I'm going to try feeding her for the first time since she laid eggs about a week ago.
And I want to show something really quick. Can you show her? So this is her, and you see her body. And these are the actual eggs that she laid. So you see they're huge. The eggs are actually the width of her body. And here there's 4 eggs We have 5 more in another bin. So she had 9 of these eggs, and her little body, she was so swollen and fat, poor thing. But they're awesome, and I don't know if you can tell too good in the camera. I don't think so. You don't see that fine detail. But the eggs, actually, if you run your fingers through them, they're hard shelled just like chicken eggs, but they're super rough. It's like super gritty, rough sandpaper, which is really strange. Are you gonna feed her, or are you gonna do the meal?
We can feed one of the boys up here.
Okay, we'll do that. And then the eggs, they're in an incubator because we do want to try and have babies. So they have to be controlled at a very, very good temperature so we can have the best chances of all the eggs hatching, healthy snakes.
Here's food. I thaw out rats just because I buy maybe 50 or 100 of them frozen, and I have to use these types of forceps because the snake could easily mistake my hands for food. So I'll put a rat up on top, and he very, very quickly grabs a hold of the rat and starts to eat.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the female or the male?
That's Daddy.
Okay, so Daddy has a hold of the rat or mouse.
Yeah.
We did advise our viewers of this.
Over here, you can see one of the females eating. This prey item is a quail, and so she's eating the quail. The quails are about 1 day old. That way, they're not too big. And because the snakes eat anything smaller than them, I try to vary their prey items between rats and mice and chicken and quail. I'm working on finding some frogs for them to eat.
Yeah, and chicken gizzards. Those they love. Who knows why, but
You got another baby chick that is eating?
This female that's currently on the screen is also pregnant, so she should have babies here in about another week or two. So I'm gonna see if Mama's gonna eat for the first time.
Since she laid her eggs. Oh, good. Oh shoot, she got
She appears to be very hungry.
Oh, I can't get it.
So do any of our viewers have any questions so far about what they're seeing? Okay,
All right. So, do you want to show the red belly? Because he's beautiful. So the other boy. Okay. Okay.
This one is 8 minutes. You seem to be coming from the chat.
He's not cooperating.
Well,
There he is.
All right.
alright, I'll be right over here.
Is he the one? Is this the one that's a little bit temperamental, Chuck?
Yeah, he's definitely temperamental.
You're taking out the temperamental one?
But part of it we think is because he got hurt.
Okay. Yeah, a little distance. Please.
Yeah. If you see, he kind of.
I just want to share this one with you guys. You can
He's
see
gorgeous.
he's got all this big,
Let me go
bright
this way.
red belly. He's currently got a hold of the tripod. And for whatever reason, Eastern Indigos, the male Eastern Indigo is much larger than the females, and I'm not sure why.
It's usually the other way around. Like
Usually
with
the other way
pythons, the
around.
females are much, much bigger.
Yeah. So you can see this guy. He's
Oh,
pure
good
black,
question.
and instead of that white underbelly, he's got this nice red color.
So the question they're asking is, sorry, what do you plan to do with the eggs once they hatch?
Once the eggs hatch, I'm hoping to have 9 baby snakes, but I'll sell them to other people that are interested in Eastern Indigos. Karen might not want to hear that I'd like to keep one as a pet, but because they're endangered, they're really a popular item and they're very sought after. And so I'll try to keep them in California because the interstate permitting process I'm not really familiar with. But in any event, they're a very popular snake, and I hope that people will enjoy them as much as I do.
Okay.
So anyway, here's the Eastern Indigo. This is the male, quite a bit bigger, probably as much as 50% larger than the female.
Yeah, definitely bigger.
Should we do the Cal King? Do you want to do him, or do you want to do the frog?
How much time do you have?
We have
It's-
about 5 more minutes, and then we can do part 2.
Well,
yeah, because the thing says it's at 10:30.
okay.
So, you saw me when I was running past.
He's
Okay.
temperamental. He's not. He's super nice. So this one is a California King, but he's been bred to have special markings. This is not what they usually look like. And if you see his head, he has a happy face. He has 2 little dots and a little smiley face. That's why our son picked him when he was like 10.
Yeah.
Think about 10.
Yeah.
And so his name is Happy. And so we've had him a good 8 years now. And he's super friendly. He's very, very good pet for small kids because they don't get very large either.
So California king snakes, they're protected in the state of California. So the only way you can get one of these is if you do find someone that's captive breeding them. Normally they have rings around their body, and in this case she has a stripe down the middle, and so
Oh, he's going to
they're a
poop.
little.
That's a defense mechanism for
Oh,
these two.
yeah,
Where
he-
some will bite, others
Yeah.
will poo because that's their way of saying, I don't want to be handled right now. Please leave me alone.
I would say, why did you put your hand up?
No.
Okay.
So that's one of the dangers with the king. He will poo on you if he's not happy.
Okay, so
Want to do frogs?
should that be part 2 for 12?
How are we on time?
12 minutes already.
We have 4 minutes. We can do a frog. Let's do Alfredo. Or you want to do the budget?
We'll do the little guy.
Okay.
This is a budget frog. Budget frogs are from South America, mostly in the Pampas in Argentina. And what really turned me on to this guy was when I went to the pet store. I opened the cage up to look at this frog, and he tried to bite me. He's very aggressive, extremely mean. He'll eat anything. Oh, he was making noises. I was
Well, that's
talking
cute.
over top of it. But anyway, this is a budget's frog. I'll feed him cockroaches, and I'll feed him baby mice, and
Oh,
anything else he can get his
I don't know.
mouth on. He's still growing. I'm trying to see if he'll make some noise. You might be able to hear him. He's making a little bit of noise. But maybe you guys can hear that. He's pretty vocal frog. There you go. There's some noises.
And if you notice, the trick to holding an animal that's aggressive is to hold them with a flat hand. Because if you hold them with a flat hand, then they really can't bite you. But if you have fingers, then they'll easily come and get you. So, and a defense mechanism for them is to pee. Just like the Cal King pooped, he will pee to try and get whoever's holding him or messing with him to leave him alone. So
there's a budget's frog.
all right, so we are at about 13 minutes. I think we can do Alfredo. We can squeeze Alfredo in, and then we can do part 2. So this is Alfredo the third. You can imagine what happened to the first and the second. In almost 30 years, we've gone through quite a few animals. So this is the third Alfredo.
Alfredo is an African bullfrog. This is the largest type of bullfrog in the world. He's a big male. So he'll eat mice, he'll eat rats, he'll eat anything that he can put in his mouth. Alfredo, I worked at a gas station, and he looked like one of the customers that would come in. So This is Alfredo. He's from Africa, the largest bullfrog in the world. So typically I'm giving them the same things I'm giving the snakes: frozen mice, frozen rats, and sometimes when he was growing up, goldfish and this type of thing.
Looks rubbery, like
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really cool. He feels really soft and slimy. I like him. Can you make him croak? I love his croak.
I'm not sure if he'll
really
croak.
loud.
Come on.
In the springtime, when he's looking for a mate, he'll croak really loud in
And
the
it's like a
springtime. So it's like once a
Oh, I
year.
love it.
I just have to pet his back, and sometimes
Yeah,
he'll end up croaking, but
Show
maybe
his
he's
little
not-
feet. I
it's
love
not
his
in the
little feet.
croaking. It's not in the croaking
Like the back
mood.
ones.
Oh, look at these frog legs right there.
So
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
Look at the little toes.
Maybe it's a little blurry. I'll move back a little bit.
All right. So I think we might end up running out of time. Aaron, you had a question. Do we breed all our animals or just the snakes?
Just the snakes. If I get into some kind of a breeding program, I end up having to have too many males, too many females to keep them their genes diverse. I breed a lot of cockroaches, so I'll show the cockroaches. But the cockroaches will breed pretty readily, and I've got a ton of those. The great thing about breeding cockroaches, they're vegetarians, they eat lettuce, and then I get to feed the frogs and feed the tarantulas once I have too many, so it helps keep their diet a little more diverse.
All right. So Ustream cuts off at 15 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and stop this one, and then we'll go ahead and restart. So join us for part 2.
All right. Stop.